The Congress party has alleged that the Income Tax Department has frozen the bank accounts of the Congress and the Youth Congress. National Treasurer Ajay Maken in a press conference slammed the BJP, saying that this attempt is to strangulate democracy. Now, the BJP has maintained its poker face, saying that this is a routine Income Tax Department exercise. Now, while Congress MP Vivek Tankha has clarified that the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal has cleared the bank accounts with the caveat that they must maintain 115 crores in the bank, the war of words rages on in a political flashpoint that comes days before the announcement of poll dates for the 2024 general elections. How will this play out remains to be seen and remains to be discussed as well. Joining us on the show is Advocate Ashpreet Khadial, Congress spokesperson. Xavier Rodriguez, BJP leader, also with us on the show. Advocate Gyanendra Mishra, political analyst, with us on the show as well. Last but by no means the least, Mr. Sanjay Kapoor, senior political analyst, also joins us on the program to talk more about this. Ashpreet, I'll begin with you. Well, the BJP is saying that this is just a routine exercise. There is no need to dramatize. There is no need to, in fact, create this vendetta political umbrella and conversation and back and forth just because something which is routine.
Thank you. Of course, now the Bharatiya Janata Party would have to call it routine, given the tribunal has already defrozen the accounts that were frozen barely 2 weeks before the Lok Sabha election were to be announced, number one. Number two, why is it that the Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders have been tom-tomming about it, and after the tribunal's order came, not one of them had the audacity to welcome the order of the tribunal. And the order in itself explains everything. What does it explain? That in the first place, false implication, political vendetta took place. Number two, the court had to intervene at the very initial stage because prima facie, there was nothing wrong found. And therefore, an interim relief has been granted that the accounts have been defrozen. Number two, they are operational now. The Bharatiya Janata Party has a modus operandi of resorting to undemocratic, unconstitutional means. We have all seen what happened in Operation Lotus. Operation Lotus, wherever it happened in Goa, Maharashtra, Manipur, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, etc. Then we saw how they misused the agencies like IT, ED, CBI. 95% of the cases registered by the ED are against opposition leaders. There's not one party in India that has not been, whose leader has not been targeted by these agencies, whether it be Mamata Banerjee's nephew Abhishek Banerjee, MK Stalin, Sharad Pawar, Charanjit Channi, and many more leaders. Then let's talk of the Bharatiya Janata Party. This party says that, we are anti-corruption and whatnot. I just want to ask them one thing. Where did you order this washing machine from? What country did you get it made from? USA, Australia, or you got it from Mars? The washing machine, because the Bharatiya Janata Party says they're anti-corruption, but they induct leaders like Narayan Rane, Mukul Roy, Suvendu Adhikari, and many more leaders that had corruption cases pending against them when they joined the Bharatiya Janata Party. And the moment they joined the BJP, all the cases go silent, everything goes incommunicado. So all I want to say is that the Bharatiya Janata Party should come forward and admit to the fact that this was political vendetta done by them. And my question to them is, does the Bharatiya Janata Party welcome this order or not? And there have been a series of orders coming through courts, tribunal, Supreme Court. I'll tell you what, tribunal's order came today. Yesterday, the Supreme Court's order came on electoral bonds and called it unconstitutional. Before that, Supreme Court called what happened in Chandigarh's mayor poll, democracy, murder of democracy, mockery of democracy happened. And I just want to ask the Bharatiya Janata Party this one thing, not just us, not just the principal opposition, but institutions like the Reserve Bank of India, institutions like the Election Commission of India also questioned your electoral bonds when they said, when the RBI said that it basically is laundering money due to electoral bonds, money laundering is happening. And then the Election Commission of India had to say that it's a retrograde step. And due to this, foreign funding is being diverted towards political parties. And despite that, the Bharatiya Janata Party was adamant. And now, due to the Bharatiya Janata Party's, ways and means, this freezing of the accounts took place. And we are very happy. We welcome the step. It's a welcome step of the tribunal. And I hope that the Bharatiya Janata Party would have the grace and would have the humility to accept that they had tried to subject us to political vendetta. They had tried to freeze our accounts so that we would be rendered incapable of fighting the election, and the Bharatiya Janata Party could gain from that. And the Bharatiya Janata Party should also admit to the fact that it is their anxiety, it is their nervousness that India bloc is going to be ousting the BJP like it did in Himachal, in Karnataka, in Telangana, and after that we are going to be ousting the Bharatiya Janata Party in the coming election.
Okay, all right. Let's get a response from Savio Rodriguez, BJP leader, on this. Savio, how do you respond to what Ashpreet has said? That this is perhaps not even vendetta politics, it's tremor politics.
You know, Vineet, I normally come hoping to get into a debate, but not really a comedy show of repetitive statements made by Congress spokespersons over and over again. So while I do appreciate the fact that the tribunal has passed its order, the case really is going to be taken up on merits on Wednesday. That's the next Wednesday. So I'm sure we will see some more fireworks and some more articulate statements coming from the Congress, all muffled up. But let's get down to the facts, and let my colleague from the Congress please tell the people of India certain facts. The first notice that was given to Congress was on July 7, 2021, while disallowing its IT exemption. The first, and that amount, the assessment amount at that point of time, was 199 crores. The first recovery demand that the IT department had made was rupees 135 crore for the accounting year of 2018-2019. Did the Congress manage to pay that? The answer is no. That amount came primarily from rupees 103 crores and rupees 32 crores of interest, which was from the subsequent years. Did Congress pay? No. They were asked to pay 20%. They paid only 78 lakhs and failed to submit the 20% of the outstanding amount, which was rupees 21 crores. Even then the IT's appellate tribunal issued a letter to pay rupees 104 crores. Even then, they did not pay it. They went and made a second appeal. In the second appeal, it did not go before a judicial authority, neither did it go back to the IT appellate tribunal. What they did do was pay rupees 1.17 crore. As a result, what the IT department did was freeze the accounts, simply because Congress has been trying to obfuscate its responsibility of paying its taxes and then cries vendetta politics. My good friend from the Congress very eloquently goes on about ED, IT department, CBI. It's a repetitive nonsense that they keep talking about all the time and casting unwanted aspersions on intelligence agencies and investigative agencies. But when they are asked to do something simple as pay their taxes, please tell the people of the country, why did they fail to pay their tax in the first place? If they did fail to pay their taxes, they wouldn't have been in the situation for anybody to take advantage. So they want to be in a political party, try to use the power of the political party to not pay the taxes due to the country, and thereafterwards, when the IT department freezes their accounts, they cry wolf. The IT department, the tribunal, has only unfrozen the accounts now to pay their bills like electricity and all, which they've been crying about. But what stopped them from paying 199 crores from 2018 to 2019, starting from then? For the last 5 years, they're refusing to pay tax in order for them to cry wolf when the IT department goes after them.
Let me also get a response. Let me get a response from Sanjay Kapoor as well on this. Sanjay, how do you look at this situation? Can everything, which happens to the Congress party be characterized as vendetta politics? Couldn't there be, for the benefit of doubt, couldn't there be actual legal problems that, they run into?
Thank you for inviting me to participate in this discussion. The truth is that the climate at the moment is such that whatever the government would do would be seen as driven from vendetta, primarily because over the last many months and years, you have found the Enforcement Directorate and IT and other agencies actually going after the opposition parties and especially leaders like that. So if the Congress is coming to grief, it is maybe because of their own reasons. I'm not saying that they may not be responsible. But at the time when the elections are likely to take place, their accounts have been frozen. I just wonder whether something like this could have been publicized even earlier, that whatever is happening is happening due to following the due process of law. But coming as it does immediately after the Supreme Court judgment on election bonds, which showed up the government in rather poor light about how it was conceived and what really happened, I think it only adds to the impression that things are not going in a manner which could be considered objective. I may agree with Savio on this, that there was a trail, there has been a long trail of what went wrong with the notices that been served to the Congress party and did not respond to it. But I think it's been handled very poorly. The fact that Congress is now owning up that the IT or the banks have allowed them to conduct business out there means that things can be managed. It's not that they can't manage. But the Congress gets a chance to score some brownie points and they will get away with it.
How do you see the situation? Like Sanjay said, there is perhaps an atmosphere, to bring about, politics into even the day-to-day matters that, corporates, parties, individuals, or, firms for that matter, have to endure on a regular basis.
Vinny, thanks for having me on your show. Is assessment year 2018-19, 5 saal ho gaye. More than 5 years have passed by. Savio has given all the facts, so I'm not going to repeat all the facts what Savio has rightfully said. Now the problem here is that you have this sense of entitlement. You are above the law because you are Congress, because you are run by Nehru Gandhi Parivar, because you're the most powerful party, you're the oldest party, you have ruled India for 65 years. So how can anybody come and infringe with you? Because you are Congress, you are untouchable. Because you are Congress, you're beyond IT law. Because you are Congress, you're above the Constitution. That has been the notion. Now, when the accounts got frozen for this 115 or 130 crore, so now what is happening is that the accounts have been defrozen, but that 115 or 130 crores has to be kept in the account. Rest account is for them to make their bill payments, to do whatever necessary things are they have to do. So where does the vendetta come in? It has been 6-7 years. You have ignored the law. You have chosen not to act as per the law, and you have not done anything. Now, if it is me, or if it is you, or if it is anybody, or it's a corporate, let's say it's a big company, Red Lines, exactly same thing would have happened to them. So how does Congress being Congress makes you exception to the law? How does Congress being Congress makes you exception to the practice? That is the question what they are not answering. Mr. Maken was today saying, I cannot pay bills, I cannot pay this. Now he has to only keep that money in the account. Rest of the money he can use whatever he wants to do. So there will be a final, tribunal's decision which will come. But the prima facie case is that where is the problem? Why is Congress so, either they are so naive or they are so touchy about it? Being naive doesn't help. Being touchy about it doesn't help, because the due course of the law has to take place. So how does being a Congress make you an exception? That is what Congress has never been to discover for themselves, and they still live in that thing because we are Congress. So hamare liye to bhai koi law nahi hai. We make the laws. So those eras are gone, Vineet. It's as simple as that. Vineet.
Advocate Mishra, how do you look at the situation? Obviously, we can go on debating about which side is saying for what reason, but it's a very, very, very thin line between impropriety and political vendetta.
No, Vinit, you rightly said. And see, there are, the different aspect of it. See, the one aspect of obviously the different actions being taken by the income tax department. But as we are hearing, and as is the fact is that matter is pending since 2018-19. It pertains to the assessment year 2018-19. And out of 135 crore,
it's 199 crores.
So 120 crore has already been withdrawn by the income tax department from this exchequer. See, the question here is that the timing, that's the moot questions. Obviously there could be the procedural lapses. See what the Supreme Court yesterday said about the electoral bonds. It is such an scathing,
Why don't you stick to the topic, Mr. Mishra?
Please let me come. When you are talking about the process of law, Savio, please, I didn't interfere. So let me complete it. My thought process, please, give me that liberty.
Savio, you'll get to respond.
It is expected from a gentleman like you.
Savio, you'll get to respond immediately after.
That is why what I say is that there are, there is the old, Ajay, that justice should not only be done, the process of law should only be done, but seems to be done fairly as well. Here, the question is that there are, the national elections to be announced in a couple of weeks. There is a most prominent opposition party. Matter is pending since 2018-19. 80% of amount has already been recovered by the income tax department. The heaven will not fall. So if it could wait for say 3, 4, 5 months, these things are done by the various departments of the government today. The timing of it becomes so obvious that the real intention behind it is not the enforcement of the law, but it is a mechanism to impact the opposition party in a way that there is no effective democratic process in place. And it's very obvious. That's why I just asked two questions. What was the criticality about the timing of freezing the account when the process is on for the last 6 years? I know the Congress has done something, not done something, ought to have done more things. These all questions, valid questions. But the real question is that a main opposition party, which is very important for the democratic process of the country. There is an election going to be announced in a week or 2 weeks' time. And at this moment, immediately you freeze the account of the main opposition party. Thereby meaning that just imagine if the income tax appellate tribunal would not have interfered in the matter and stayed the order, the main opposition parties
Advocate Mishra, there seems to be a problem. There seems to be a problem with the audio. I'm going to go to Savio for a reaction now. Savio, go ahead.
Well, I don't want to react because you can't really react to, rhetoric.
Then respond.
It is really not practical for me to. The question I'm asking both the representatives from the Congress, what gives Congress the liberty to tell the IT department that the 199 crores that was due to them is something that they will pay in their own leisure at their own time? Why is it that a common citizen does not get treated in that manner? Why is it that the Congress thinks that its aristocracy allows them the right to not pay their taxes?
Oh my God.
After all, it is the income tax. But you have Mr. Mishra so eloquently put out the electoral bonds. The Supreme Court has made it stand clear on the electoral bonds, and I agree with it. But can you ask the Congress one simple question, which you never answer, is what stopped them from paying the income tax? Are you saying that they are not supposed to pay it? They have the liberty not to pay it. Why would they have got 3 notices? They've got 3 notices from the income tax department. Why have they not paid their tax? Why is the income tax department giving them the notices? Are they above the law?
May I answer?
They will never answer that.
May I answer?
Okay, yes, Ashpreet, go ahead.
I did not interrupt the gentleman. I hope he won't do the same. Although I did notice the gentleman of the Bharatiya Janata Party looking at his paper again and again and reading it, the simple fact, the simple reason behind that is it's hard to cram the truth, to speak for it. Whereas
my friend, you don't have to get personal.
If I may,
you don't have to get personal.
All
You're
I'm saying is that comedy would have still been better.
You're reading from a paper as well. Don't get personal.
Okay, all right.
Don't get personal.
Okay, Savio, all right. Savio, he heard you. Let's not get personal. Ashpreet, let's not get personal. Savio is right.
You're reading from your iPad.
All I'm saying is, one second,
gentlemen. Put your eyes down 100 times. See the way your eyes are moving.
Okay, Savio, I think, Savio, 1 second. Savio, you've accused him of the same thing. Let's move on. Let him finish his point. Ashpreet.
Thank you. So I'd only say comedy would have still suited you. Please do not indulge into all of this. All I'm saying
is Rahul Gandhi,
the Bharatiya Janata Party now, if I may,
comedy is Rahul Gandhi.
See, the Bharatiya Janata Party is already doing a lot of comedy. Everybody has seen that what you're doing to the farmers, the world is watching that. Now, number 2, let me come to the issue. The Bharatiya Janata Party has time and again ignored the questions that have been asked to them by the people of India, by the opposition. First question is the timing. Why, if there was something wrong, there was any wrongdoing that took place, why was there no action taken before? Why did it only have to happen 2 weeks before the announcement were to be made? Number one. Number two, they talk of allegations. They talk of action and raid. I'll talk of conviction of the Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders, and that too prominent ones. Their former president has been convicted for corruption. Their lone Mizoram MLA has been convicted for corruption. Because I do understand the BJP really doesn't know what the principle of natural justice is, doesn't understand how the constitution works, doesn't know what innocent until proven guilty means. Because if the Bharatiya Janata Party had to have this stand, the one that the gentleman's taking right now, pronouncing everybody guilty, the BJP, according to Association of Democratic Reforms, has the maximum criminal cases.
We have a paucity of time. I want a reaction from Sanjay and Sumit. Yeah, Ashpreet, we have a paucity of time. Ashpreet, 1 second. We have a full house. We have a paucity of time as well. I want reactions from Sanjay and Sumit, and then we end. Sanjay.
Yeah, I think there's been a problem with the timing, despite the fact that Congress, I'm sure, must be in the loop about what they have not done, what taxes they haven't paid. But, there is a tendency in this government to do headline management, and this, I'm sure, going to impact the electoral bond getting too much traction with the next day or the day after. This Congress thing being denied access to their account is going to steal all the, thunder from the electoral bond. So this is my view.
Vineet, my view is very simple. Electoral bond is a different issue. There's nothing to do with it. So are we telling here that IT department takes instructions from Prime Minister Modi, Amit Shah makes the timetable of the raid, and JP Nadda approves ki kiska account kab freeze karna? So when all this can be done to a screenplay and somebody is writing the script, then only this clock perfection can harm. But the problem here is the Congress has this sense of entitlement. Bhai, hum to Congress hai. We are above everything. Mala, how the question is right. Ashpreet Bhai is not saying is,
Advocate Mishra wants to respond. 1 second. Advocate Mishra, come in now. Quickly. Advocate Mishra, go on.
Often repeated remarks that Congress is claiming entitlement, but this is not a fair thing to say. Here we are talking about in a very, it is a matter of concern for all of us who believes in a democratic process. If you are completely going to jeopardize a main opposition party by stopping the channel of resources, financial resources, whatever meager resources they have, what is the outcome of that? Outcome of that is that there is no effective opposition. Therefore, my question
Congress is not supposed to pay their tax.
Even if they have done something wrong by not paying the tax, complete tax, or responding to the notice,
199 crores.
The situation demands, because the larger interest of the democratic process, the strengthening of democratic process, that you can wait for 2 months. Heaven will not fall if you will not allow, and this is what exactly.
All right, we've run out of time. We've run out of time, but this is obviously a debate worth extending, but we unfortunately have run out of time. Would like to thank all my guests for being a part of this conversation.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.